And a major liquor scam scandal that has now broken out with accused number one, Sisodia, who has sought liquor deal papers. He has sought liquor files despite being accused number one in this scam. So, the latest update coming in is that the Deputy Chief Minister of the National of Delhi has sought the liquor deal papers. In fact, the claim there being made that Sisodia is misusing powers as a minister. And we've also accessed the September 30th, 2022 file note, which clearly states how the Deputy Chief Minister of the National Capital had sought liquor deal papers. We have Piyush Mishra getting us all those details. Piyush, if you could give us more details. Sisodia there was seeking more information on the liquor deal papers, even as he is accused number one in this multi-crore scam.
Well, certainly, Samiksha, we need to understand what actually has happened. In September, around 30th September, Manish Sisodia wrote a letter to Excise Department seeking the details, seeking the scanned copy of all the documents related to Excise Policy 2021-2022. And when this letter was written by the OSD of Manish Sisodia to Excise Department approached to Finance Department. Finance Department then later on approached to Law Department, and Law Department, after looking into the request of Manish Sisodia's OSD, has now said that it has already handed over all the documents related to the excise policy to the agencies who are probing this, like CBI and ED. In fact, Law Department has also said no to this, as Manish Sisodia being the accused number one into the entire scam. Now, this attempt of Manish Sisodia somewhere raising a lot of questions. The biggest question here is that did Manish Sisodia try to misuse his powers as the Deputy Chief Minister, and what was the need of Manish Sisodia to seek the documents concerning with the excise policy 21-22? Now, BJP is going to certainly ask some questions from Manish Sisodia over this, but let me also read out that particular letter which was written by OSD of Manish Sisodia to the Excise Department, and that letter was basically shot to office to the Excise Department. It is mentioned, and I am quoting from that letter. Yes. Honorable Deputy Chief Minister has desired the photocopies and scanned copy in a pen drive of files and documents related to formation of Excise Policy 2021-2022 and related attended documents. It is therefore requested to kindly provide the same documents immediately, and the date is also mentioned. That's 30th September 2021, and that letter was basically written by M.K. Nikhil, who is also OSD to Deputy Chief Minister of Delhi. Now, this is raising a lot of questions as to why Manish Sisodia was seeking those documents, and that also in pen drive. He was seeking the scanned copies in a pen drive. It is now going to somewhere again stir
yes, stay with us. We have our senior editor Shravan also joining us. Yes, I'll just come back to you. Yes, Shravan, how do you read into this, the document that we've accessed, which clearly states that Manish Sisodia in all probability tried to misuse his power as a Deputy Chief Minister?
Well, in fact, Samiksha, let's just put out the document for the benefit of our viewers. This is a letter that was written by the Deputy Chief Minister himself, where he's basically asking for the photocopies of the excise policy. In fact, as Piyush was also pointing out, now this is the OSD to the Deputy Chief Minister in the name of M.K. Nikhil, who says that the Deputy Chief Minister has desired the photocopies and the scanned copy, that too in a pen drive, of files and documents that are related to the formation of the excise policy 2021-2022 and related tender documents. Now, this document, in fact, we'll just try and put this out for our viewers right now in a short while from now. This was signed on 30th of September. Remember, he's an accused in this particular case, accused number one in the excise scam. And you have the Deputy Chief Minister thereafter asking for all the documents, that too in a pen drive. This has been written by the OSD. In fact, that's the document that we have now accessed. Put it up on our screens, which clearly makes a mention. And this is a signed document, as you can see right now on your screens, signed by the OSD of the Deputy Chief Minister. Is asking the Excise Department to furnish all the documents, that too it should be done immediately. Now, where lies the problem? One, that he's an accused in this particular case, and he's accused number one. He's already been examined by the Central Bureau of Investigation. And the allegation that has been leveled against him, as per the CBI FIR, is that his alleged close associates, at least some of them have already been arrested, his alleged close associates were basically in connivance with certain bureaucrats, drafted this policy in such a manner which essentially benefited a select few players, which included players once again linked to the Deputy Chief Minister. These are links that the CBI is talking about. But having said that, it certainly raises questions of propriety at this point in time, that why exactly would the Deputy Chief Minister, who is already heading the Excise Department, ask for these documents, that too in a pen drive? Was this actually, pertaining to certain meetings, minutes of the meetings that had taken place? Because at the end of the day, questions are also now being raised about the fact that, the specific instructions were actually given also by the Deputy Chief Minister. Now, is that also the link that the Central Bureau of Investigation is looking at? Some more details right now, Samiksha, that is also emerging from the documents that have also been accessed by Republic TV, is the fact that this was the note that was sent to the Excise Commissioner on 30th of September that demanded for the very files, papers and documents that are under scrutiny and investigation that was being carried out by the agencies. So the similarity being that same sort of documents were basically asked by the Central Bureau of Investigation. So now this has been put out officially by the OSD of the Deputy Chief Minister, that the Excise Department, which had handed over the files to the Central Bureau of Investigation and their copies to the Enforcement Directorate for the ongoing investigations, seeking the permission of the Finance Department, then thereafter asked the Law Department to ensure that these papers are given to the Deputy Chief Minister. So what does this essentially mean? Documents that were basically being perused by the investigative agencies, the same set of documents were basically asked by the Deputy Chief Minister. What was the purpose? Not known. But the fact of the matter is that this certainly raises some very serious questions.
Well, absolutely, Shravan. And Shravan, just help us understand this better.
Joining us...
Yes. Does this make the case very strong against Manish Sisodia, given the fact that, he's being probed by multiple agencies and he sought these scam deal papers while, the matter is still being probed by these agencies?
Well, in fact, Samiksha, before I answer that question, let me try and reconnect with Sardar R.P. Singh, who was joining us a short while back. We'll try and reconnect with him to get the first reaction coming in from the Bharatiya Janata Party. In fact, Amit Malviya of the BJP has already responded. But, this comes on a day when there have been multiple arrests that have been made by the Enforcement Directorate. I'm told that Sardar R.P. Singh of the BJP has joined us on the phone line. Mr. R.P. Singh, we're seeing this news break coming in. Republic TV has now accessed certain documents. This is a letter that has been written by the OSD of the Deputy Chief Minister. As I understand, these are the same set of documents that were actually asked by the Central Bureau of Investigation as well as the Enforcement Directorate. Now, this was asked on 30th of September. It raises some very serious questions.
Well, earlier also in month of July, they did the same. When the red flag was raised by the Chief Secretary, they went for a post facto cabinet approval on the basis of the red flag which was raised. I mean, they never took the cabinet approval prior to doing that scam, but after they were caught, and they went for a post facto approval by the cabinet. Similarly, here also, they probably want to know what's happening and what all they can cover up. But ultimately, they're going to be in the net because CBI and the other agencies are going through all the documents, and then whatever document they have on that basis, there are a lot of questions need to still to be answered by Mr. Sisodia and his team. But basically, he probably has taken the documents to see whatever and however he can cover up whatever scams he has committed.
But Sardar R.P. Singh, the Aam Aadmi Party continuously targeting the investigative agencies, saying that the investigative agencies are essentially operating under pressure from your government. They say that Manish Sisodia was basically called in for questioning just a day before he was about to land in Gujarat.
Well, but he was in Gujarat the next day. They would have raised a question on the agencies had they asked him to come the next day also when he was supposed to be in Gujarat. But That point aside, I mean, the agencies are not going to wait for elections to happen, or they are not going to go by the election schedules in various states. Elections keep happening all year long in one state or other, and they'll keep contesting elections in one other state and keep losing deposit. Just separate point. But the issue is that they are taking this as a pretext, a very flimsy pretext. Whereas fact is they are not answering the hardcore questions. The question is the waiver of the license fee, was it 44.26 crore or 30 crore rupees, the earnest money which was returned. So they need to answer those questions, and how the commission was increased from 2 to 12%, and who all were involved in the cutback in that 2 to 12% raise of commission.
Well, thank you very much, Sardar RPC, for putting this into perspective. Once again, the Aam Aadmi Party perhaps will also need to now do some answering, given the fact that these are some very sensational allegations that have been levelled. The fact of the matter is that why exactly would the Deputy Chief Minister, who's also the head of the Excise Department, ask for documents which were actually asked by the Central Bureau of Investigation as well as the Enforcement Directorate? Also, to get you the latest news, coming in, two major arrests that have now been made by the Enforcement Directorate earlier in the day. Roughly around 7 o'clock this morning, Samiksha, two arrests, two businessmen linked to Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. They were arrested by the Enforcement Directorate. I'm told that Shehzad Poonawalla from the BJP is also joining us on this broadcast. Mr. Poonawalla, Republic TV is now putting out some more details. One, with regards to documents that were asked by the Deputy Chief Minister through his OSD on 30th of September. And second, with regards to the link that is now emerging down south in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh.
Today, one thing is very clear, and I want to congratulate your channel for unveiling the truth, that despite being accused number one, the Deputy Chief Minister, Mr. Manish Sisodia, wanted to take illegally the copies of the excise policy and the entire liquor scam. Now, this has already been shown on your channel, and I revealed it to RTI that 2,500 loss was caused. We also know this is being interrogated and investigated by the CBI. When an agency is looking into all of this, there are arrests made, court has given no relief. And what circumstances of natural principles of justice was this minister trying to take these files? Which means, Shravan, and I'm saying this as the spokesperson of the BJP, this is a clear-cut evidence of interference in the judicial process relating to Sharab Ghotala. This was an attempt, no less, by the minister concerned to try and sabotage the investigation, and therefore these files were being sought. And I demand immediate sacking of the Deputy Chief Minister by Mr. Kejriwal, like we have seen Satyendra Jain use and misuse his position of influence as minister inside Bihar. Now you have a clear-cut case of misuse and abuse of official position by the Deputy Chief Minister to sabotage the investigation in the Sharab Ghotala, which has been proven because even Mr. Kejriwal has gone back to the old policy. And therefore, this is a very serious matter. I demand immediate sacking of Mr. Manish Sisodia, accused number one, who is trying to interfere, obstruct, and in a sense, sabotage the probe into this entire matter.
Shehzad, just one quick question that I would also like to take with you with regards to, is there a delay, in your opinion, as far as the arrest of the Deputy Chief Minister, given the fact that if your party and if the CBI essentially believes that there is a quid pro quo, and the fact that there are documents that have now been accessed, which clearly goes on to indicate that perhaps a nervous Deputy Chief Minister wanted to get access to the same very documents that were actually being produced by the investigative agencies?
Look, I can only say that the law will take its own course. The courts are also looking at it when the matters are going for bail proceedings, etc. So there is a process of law that needs to be followed. But isn't it extremely curious and extremely, I would say, contrary to the principles of natural justice, that the Deputy Chief Minister on an urgent basis demands to get access to these copies on 30th of September 2022 at a time when the entire investigation is at its peak. And this could only mean one thing, that the attempt to sabotage, cover up, whitewash, and to protect some of the guilty, this is being done. No other inference can be drawn logically. Mr. Kejriwal could have taken his resignation long ago when his name appeared as accused number 1. Now, with this particular development, it becomes untenable for him to continue as a minister. We demand his immediate sacking, and there is a chain connection that Satendra Jain remains as a minister, sabotages things inside Tihar jail. Manish Sisodia remains as a minister, sabotages the liquor probe. Therefore, we demand his immediate sacking. This is clear-cut proof evidence that an attempt has been made to sabotage innocence.
Well, thank you very much, Shahzad, for putting this into perspective. We'll continue with our updates on the story. A massive political controversy now brewing on the liquor gate.